Hello and welcome to this video that we are going to develop an important topic as we have been talking about different types of communication. Now the time is to talk about the gestures and sign language. This is a very important topic because it is something very basic in the communication. It has been with the human being since a lot of time. When we talk about gesture, it includes facial expression. It is important and significant for the daily communication. Even if we use our language to speak, we use also some signs, some gestures to express better to others. We have some basic gestures that are non-verbal expression when we talk about this. The non-verbal expression, as the words and as the phrase says, it is when we don't use words but we use signs. So these gestures are universal and can be understood across cultures. So if I want to greet you and saying hi, just I have to move my hand. It is a very significant gesture that everyone understands around the world. If I smile, it means that I'm happy. So there are different kinds of gestures that I can do to communicate my expression of my mood. The significance of the sign language, although we have the ability to speak, there are some people that cannot speak, and this is the case for 466 million, according to um, an study that says that the language, it is not just primarily speaking, but with the sign language. The sign language has been around since a lot of time. It have existed for centuries, and it recognized the different types of gesture as the grammar with that and the syntax. It has its own grammar. The sign language alphabet, it's about fingers spelling. It's a way to spell words with the hands and using some signs. For each letter, you can use different movements and different kind of signs to express and talk without words. Now, as we talk about signs and gestures, it is very important to understand that it can have some misunderstandings when you have a developed alphabet with signs and gestures, but also there are some gestures that are just for expressions. There, there can be some misunderstandings or misinterpretation depending on the culture. The culture sensitivity, it is a topic that it is very hard to assimilate when we talk about different cultures, because if the culture crashes, it is crucial to be understood or the context for for not offending someone. So it is important about what is acceptable and what is not acceptable to don't offend that people. For example, here in El Salvador, I always think in this example when we are talking about gestures and signs alphabet. There is a sign that is for rock that you can do uh, when you are a fan of rock or metal, and they do it with that sign. But also it can be um confusing with another sign language. If I remember well, if you say love in signed alphabet is almost the same, But here, for example, in El Salvador, because of the problem of the organized crime and gangs, it can be very sensitive with that, and all the people that are here in the country, they assimilate that gesture with gangs and the organized crime. So it's very important to transmit this to the people, and that they can understand there are differences between the gestures or of something. For example, as I mentioned, the rock, uh, as I mentioned, the expression of a sign alphabet that is love, and for other signs that have been created for some groups. And that is talking about the benefits. If you learn sign language, you will include more people, and not only are going to understand but facilitates the communication with the deaf community, and it will enhance the understanding, and as I mentioned, the inclusion for all the individuals. So what else we can talk about sign gesture? I can say that they enable an universal expression because we use it every day, and when we are trying to express, we make some gestures to convey and try to be more specific. So for example, here in El Salvador, there is another expression that is you want to sign someone that is something in one place, you don't do it with your hand. We have the tradition that do it with our mouth. So if you go to another country, that is going to be weird. So that is because that is the culture that we manage. So if we go to different parts of the world, there are going to be different types of gestures, and that's very important to understand those culture and those gestures to avoid misunderstanding and to have a better association with this knowledge, and facilitates the expression in the communication. So this has been my summary. I hope you like it, and thank you.